Hey, everybody, it's Scott Steen with winnersandwhiners.com coming to you with Today in Sports Betting, doing it NFL style. Hut, hut. Taking a look at all of Sunday's games with the one and only Scott Reichel. Scotty, what's up, baby?
Nothing much. Looking forward to going through some NFL. And, nice way to finish the weekend off.
Let's do it. Let's do it. Raiders and Patriots. Patriots home team -6, 47 is your total. Scott, digging the under here. I'm digging the over. I think these are two pretty good offenses. I'm not sold on that Raiders defense at all, and I think the Patriots have maybe got an issue or two there on the defensive side that hasn't been exposed yet. I like the over 47. Yourself?
So I have a play today on this one, but for the sake of this game, it's kind of a tough spot. I have a play today, but I'll lean to New England. I just think it's a terrible spot for the Raiders.
It is. I don't like the total. I don't like the
Played
number.
Monday night on the West Coast, traveling to the East Coast to Foxborough. Not great.
Yeah, that does scream Patriots. Rams and Bills, Scott. The Rams are a 1-point dog here. 46.5 is the total. I'm gonna play under here. I think you've got two very good defenses going against each other, and I think you're gonna have sustained drives. I like the under 46.5. Yourself?
I agree with you there. I was leaning Buffalo, but the line movement I find pretty fascinating because you have a Rams team that's going to be traveling to Buffalo now, and I know the Rams have looked really good so far this season. I still don't know how good the Cowboys and Eagles are, so I can't really factor that in.
Right.
And again, Buffalo beat the Jets and the Dolphins, so I can't tell how good the Bills are either.
It's like trying to do a Sudoku puzzle with not quite enough numbers.
Yeah, I'm gonna lean to the under as well. I think that Goff should struggle against Buffalo's defense. Josh Allen's looked really good against two of the worst defenses in the league.
Right.
That he will struggle a little bit more, especially with Jalen Ramsey in coverage, etc. Dealing with Aaron Donald is never fun. And I know Allen's going to be an idiot and turn the ball over once or twice on very, very bad decisions. So, yeah, I'm going to go with the under. I think that game's more of a 24-21 type of game. I think
That's
it'll go.
exactly how it feels. 21-17, something along those lines. Texans at Steelers. Steelers -4, 45.5 on this one.
It's really tough, this one.
I
don't know what to think of either team.
I'll tell you what I like here. I like the Pittsburgh Steelers defense against the Houston Texans offense. Houston is they've got an injury on the offensive side of the ball to one of the. I'm gonna check it here real quick.
I don't know what the story is with Fuller, but he was stretching in the last game. The offensive line has been awful. They're just not very good.
No, they're not, and they've got Duke Johnson's questionable and Kenny Stills is questionable.
Well, Duke did not play last week, so we'll see if he plays or not.
Well, and that didn't go very well for him against Baltimore there.
That's the thing about Houston, though, is I find this very tricky because Houston had to face the Chiefs and the Ravens.
Doesn't get much harder than that coming out.
On the other side, you have the Steelers who face the Giants and Jeff Driscoll for a half, or about 3 quarters, and Driscoll torched them in the second half. Driscoll was great in the second half, and Denver ended up covering that game. So I don't know what to think of this.
I'm going to play Texans team total over 21, under 21.
Okay. I guess I'm leaning Pittsburgh because it's in Heinz Field and all, but I also don't think Roethlisberger is that good anymore. So I don't really have much faith in Pittsburgh's offense, even though Houston's defense is not great. But, yeah, I'll lean to the Pittsburgh, I guess. It's really a coin flip for me. This is tough.
All right, very good. 49ers at the Giants. Everybody is hurt in this one.
Correct. Mostly for the 49ers, but –
well, of course, a big piece of the Giants' offense is gone.
Take one.
Oh yeah, no, they're down
They're down Sterling Shepard. They're missing.
They're down Sterling Shepard as well. Yeah, that's the other problem that.
The 49ers have a backup quarterback, backup running back, They're missing Debo Samuel, who's still injured. They're
Right.
missing three defensive linemen, Richard Sherman, and Partridge in a Pear Tree. Right?
Yeah, it's not good. I'm going to play the over here, Scott. I'm gonna zig when everybody else is zagging. That's what I'm doing. I think there's going to be I think there's going to be more passing in this game because by process of elimination. I don't think either one of these teams are going to be able to run the ball successfully. They're just down too many players. You've got Devontae Freeman going as the starter for the Giants. I think Daniel Jones is going to air it out, and I think this one goes over the total 42.5. I think that number's too low.
For me, I'm going to go with the 49ers, so I'm going to zig in a different direction.
Okay.
The 49ers opened up at 6.5, went down to 3.5 because of all the injuries, probably going to drop even further. At the end of the day, I know Nick Mullins looked awful against the Jets. There's also a 0% chance he thought he was going to play that game. He has a week to prepare. I disagree about the running game. I think the 49ers are just so much better up front in terms of offensive line. In this matchup, I think that they're going to rely heavily on McKinnon and Jeff Wilson to carry the load. And I think that the 49ers, even though they are going to be missing Kittle as well, bless you, they still have Jordan Reed, who was very good last week. So they do have a quality tight end who can fill the void. At the end of the day, I think Mullins is going to be okay. And I think that Joe Judge, either he's not a really good coach or this team stinks, probably both. So I'm going to go with the 49ers because they're in the hardest division in football. They need this win. And I think that the Giants just aren't good at football. And the 49ers playing the Jets last week in New York helps because they did not have to travel back West Coast, back to go East Coast. They just stayed an extra week in New York.
Titans Vikings. Titans minus 2.5. 50 is the total here.
I like the Vikings on the money line.
That's exactly what I'm playing. I got about plus 128. That is exactly the play that I am making as well. I'm not sure, Scott, whether they've just faced really good defenses or whether Derrick Henry has taken a step backwards this year. He has struggled to get going. And I think the Vikings are not as bad as they played their first two games. I think they break through for their first win of the season right here.
I think if there's a spot for them to do so, it'd be now, because if it's not, they might just fire everybody. But they ended up looking awful in week 1 against Green Bay. And they had a couple injuries to deal with. Aaron Rodgers. They got smacked in week 2 against the Colts because Kirk Cousins was an abomination. Tennessee gave up 30 points to Jacksonville. And they're still going to be missing some key defensive pieces. Clowney's not 100% yet because he's still coming back from signing late, so he's still getting to game shape. Big Beasley's had some injury issues. A.J. Brown's officially not playing on the offensive side of the ball. I think Cousins is the kind of guy who stinks publicly and then is pretty good quietly. And I think that this is a pretty good spot for that because Tennessee's defense right now doesn't look very good. So I'll go with the Vikings at home.
Yeah, Derrick Henry just 56 carries for 200 yards. So, you're looking at somewhere in the neighborhood of 3.6 yards per carry. That is not good at all.
I'm not worried about Henry because Henry's always been the kind of guy who does a lot better in the colder months. November and December is usually when he takes over. So he has been a slow starter in years past. It's more concerning because they paid him all the money. But yeah, Tannehill's looked good. I just think I think that Minnesota, if they lose this game, the season's basically over.
Yeah, I agree. A.J. Brown is also out for the Titans. I'll take Minnesota on the money line just like you right there, my friend. Washington and Cleveland. Cleveland minus 7.45 is the total there. I'm just give me the Browns.
Washington.
Huh?
Give me Washington.
Okay, I'll take the Browns.
Browns couldn't even cover against the Bengals. I'll take Washington plus 7.
Right,
I know that they're missing Shreve, so they're going to be missing one of their best offensive linemen. Washington's pass rush, still very good. I know Kerrigan might not play, which is concerning, but the Browns, they love to run the ball. Football team's defensive line, still very good. Do I think Haskins is good? No, I think he stinks. But I still think that Gibson's a pretty good running back. I think McLaurin's still very good as a receiver. I just think it's too many points. The Browns haven't won a game by more than 5 points this year, so why are they laying 7? I don't really know. They do have the extra time off because they play Thursday night, which could help. But No, I think it's too many points. I think Washington loses probably by about 4.
No.
My opinion.
Bengals and Eagles. Eagles minus 4.5 at home. 47 is the number there. Not a lot of defense in this one, Scott. I think the Bengals threw it 61 times their last time out. I think we could certainly see numbers in the 50s again. Give me over 47.
I got a play in the day in this one as well, but I'm going to lean to the Eagles on the side here at 4.5. At the end of the day, Philadelphia's 0-2, and I understand that. Cincinnati's also 0-2. I'm just going to come out and say it. Cincinnati stinks. Joe Burrow is a very, very good quarterback, and he's going to become a great quarterback if he stays healthy because he's very good. That offensive line is one of the worst offensive lines I've seen in years.
Run for your life, Joe.
That is an abomination. And Philadelphia, even though they're 0-2, they're only 1 game back in the NFC East, so they're still kind of alive because that whole division stinks.
Yep.
And the Eagles have returned to home. They're in a must-win situation, basically. I know Cincinnati is the extra days of preparation. Good luck with that offensive line because that is not good. And that defensive line with Geno Atkins, who's been injured the entire season, gave up 200-plus rushing yards as well. Yep. I think Sanders is going to run all over him.
Yep, that's I'm looking for them to be able to have their way with that defense. That is a dreadful.
Yeah, so I'm just going to go with Philly because I think they'll win by at least a touchdown.
Bears at Falcons. Falcons minus 347 is your number. Scott will play the Bears on the money line plus 157 right there. I think that's tremendous value.
We're going to disagree. I'm going with the Falcons.
Okay, good enough.
Main reason why I'm going with the Falcons, this line makes no sense. Atlanta has had probably the worst defense in the entire league. Then again, they also played the Cowboys and the Seahawks, who have 2 of the best offenses in the league. So, it is what it is. Trubisky has looked great for 1 or about maybe 2 out of 8 quarters in the season, and people think he's good now. I watched him that second half against the Giants. He still stinks. Just in case people don't know. He scored 0 points in the second half against the Giants. He's not very good. I know that even though Julio Jones is currently questionable, might not play.
Right.
Still have Calvin Ridley. Still have Russell Gage. Hayden Hurst, pretty good tight end. It's also in Atlanta. I just think the Bears' offense is bad enough to half neutralize how bad Atlanta's defense is. And Matt Ryan's looked pretty good. So I think that this line itself, if I told you point blank, Bears are 2-0, Atlanta's 0-2, Atlanta's laying 3, you'd be scratching your head right now because this line makes no sense. I'm taking Atlanta.
So I'm taking the Bears. I got sucked into this Atlanta thing before.
I think that the Bears just looks like a massive trap play, so I'm gonna go with Atlanta.
Jets and Colts. Scott, Jets minus plus 12.5.
Oh God, I have to talk about the Jets.
Not very much.
That's my feelings, man.
I don't see any other way to play this game except Colts minus 12.5, and I hate it.
It's either that or Jets team total under.
Yeah, you could do that too. Although you're looking at 16.
It's low.
Oof.
It's really not great. I despise Phillip Rivers at this stage in his career. So I have to lean Colts, but I know he's going to do something stupid in the red zone at least once.
Absolutely.
So I guess I'm leaning under. The Colts know Phillip Rivers isn't as great as they were hoping he'd be. They're going to run the ball 30-plus times. It'll eat up clock. And the Jets are the Jets. So I think this game should end probably around, I don't even know, 27-13.
Yeah, I think it sounds pretty close.
I'll go with the under.
Panthers, Chargers. Chargers 6.5 at home. 43.5 is the number here.
This game threw me for a loop for a little while. And it's a very, very random game on the card. But Herbert's going to be making his second career start.
Mm-hmm.
He's laying 6.5.
Yeah.
I know that he was good against Kansas City, but
he was
6.5? Really?
Yeah,
I thought Carolina hung pretty tough against Tampa after an awful start. It looked ugly because Fournette had a garbage time 70-yard touchdown run. Carolina was 1 possession away in the fourth quarter. I'm leaning Chargers, but I think that it wouldn't surprise me if Carolina loses this game by, I don't know, maybe 4 or so, but McCaffrey just means so much to that team. He means so much. And with him not being there and replacing him with Mike Davis, I do like DJ Moore. I do like some of the receivers. Robbie Anderson's been good this year. Chargers secondary, underrated. Very good secondary with Harris and King back there. So, and the pass rush with
in my
Bosa.
neck of the woods, it ain't underrated. But yeah, for
Yeah.
the rest of America, yes.
Yeah, and the pass rush with Bosa and Ingram, still very good. I'm going to lean Chargers. I am not thrilled with laying 6.5 with Herbert because I think Herbert, even though he looked good in week one, he had a couple of flashes there where he just made awful decisions, and that's been his entire career. I know he's going to do something or two things really stupidly in this game. And I'm going to lean Chargers anyway, but I'm not happy about it.
I'm with you. Lions and Cardinals. Lions, 5-point dog. 55 is the number out there in the desert. How you feeling here, buddy?
Cardinals. It's a matter of I know that Galladay's back. I know that the Lions offense should have looked better. Is Matt Patricia worse than Adam Gase? I don't know.
Good question.
The fact that we're having this conversation is why I can't take the Lions. Because Matt Patricia has had a 10-point lead in, 4 straight games, and they've lost all 4?
Yeah, not good.
I think it's been 4. It's either been 3 or 4 that had a double-digit lead at some point and lost the game. Yeah, he stinks. And this Cardinals team, I was skeptical of Kingsbury when he came over because he had a losing record at Texas Tech. Guy can coach.
Yeah.
And this defense is underrated. Kyler Murray has gone to another level. Give me the Cardinals.
Cardinals defense has been outstanding. Scott, give me the under 55.
I think that gets dicey because Stat Padford's going to launch a bunch of passes in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, I don't think they're going to be close enough to get this total over.
This Lions defense is so bad.
Try 28-7, 28-17, 31-17, something like that.
I think the Lions get in the 20s, but either way, I'm just going to take Arizona. Arizona at home against an awful team. Okay. Detroit, I just think Patricia is just a dead man walking right now in terms of his job security. I thought it was hilarious they brought him back after last year.
Yeah, agreed. Buccaneers at Broncos, Scott. Broncos, of course, going to be starting Jeff Driscoll. Looks like they will not have Philip Lindsay available.
I'm taking the points.
Cortland Sutton's out. Jerry Jeudy's questionable.
They're banged up, but I'm taking Denver. It's mostly because I don't think Tampa Bay is that good. I know that people want to buy in on Tampa saying, oh, yeah, they got Brady. They realize Brady's been awful this year.
I don't care about their offense. They're gonna make this Denver team throw the ball, and that's not going to work out well.
I'm just saying Driscoll looked pretty good in that second half. I think he's getting a bit disrespected in this marketplace. I am aware that Brady, of course, the better quarterback. They struggled with Carolina at home.
They're pinning their ears back and coming after him, Scott. They're going to make Jeff Driscoll's life miserable because they're not going to be able to run the ball against that Bucs rush defense.
We'll see. I just think Tampa Bay's offense is going to struggle a bit more in high altitude than people think. I think it's going to be a low-scoring game. I'd lean under. But I'm going to lean Denver with the points because I actually think Driscoll is not completely useless. I actually think he's decent.
Bucs -5, full-throated play for me. Cowboys.
It'll be fun seeing how this works out. But do you agree with me about leaning under? It's a low total. But I'm assuming you agree that if Tampa's going to win, Denver's going to score 17 points?
Maybe.
That's what I'm saying. So I'm assuming you're leaning under.
Denver's
defense is not bad.
I don't hate the under there either. That's
and Brady. Everything I thought about Brady's true. He doesn't throw the ball more than – I know people roast Breeze for not throwing the ball down the field. Brady also doesn't throw the ball down the field. It's not as bad as Breeze, but he doesn't throw the ball down the field, so you should see a lot of clock-eating drives.
No, I think there's going to be 10, 12-yard passes down the field.
10 to 12, yeah. I'm talking about 50-yard in the air to Mike Evans. That's what
I'm just saying. I don't think he's necessarily going to eat the clock with running the ball. That's not really their game.
I kind of meant eating the clock by nickel and diming down the field.
Okay.
That's what I meant.
42.5 is a really low total. I don't want to get involved in that.
I'm leaning under, but I'm going to lean to Denver.
All right. I have confidence in the Bucs here.
Okay.
Seahawks, Cowboys. Seahawks -5 at home. I'm not buying the Cowboys yet. I am buying Russell Wilson. Give me the Seahawks -5.
I have no idea. I want to take the over, but it's 57.
57, buddy. 57.
I took it earlier in the week. Actually, I teased it down to 49, so I got in early. I teased it because what I teased it down to. I think I teased it down to 49 or 48 or something. I teased it because I didn't want to go over 50. But either way, Seattle should win. I think they're going to win.
Yep.
I'm going to lean to Dallas because I think the Seattle defense is arguably as bad as the Cowboys defense. And I think the Cowboys offense is still very, very, very good. Especially the defensive front for Seattle is practically useless. It's arguably the worst defensive line in the entire league. Bruce Irvin, I know, was extremely old. He wasn't very good. Now he's out for the year. That defense is terrible. I think the Cowboys probably lose, but I think it's by a field goal or something like that because I don't see many stops for either side.
Give me Seattle -5.
Okay. We're going to disagree on that one, too.
Yep.
I don't blame you because Seattle's at home. It just I really think that game's going to be close. I think Seattle's going to win, but I think it'll be close.
Okay. Sunday night, Packers at the Saints. Saints -3. 52.5 is the number there.
Well, both teams are going to be probably missing their star receiver. Michael Thomas has been ruled out. I don't think Devontae Adams is going to play. So you're looking at a pretty weak receiving core from both sides. I'm going to take the Saints. I think it's a good bounce back spot for them.
I'm going to take the Packers on the money line.
Do you think do you agree with the line here? Do you think this line's questionable?
Yes.
I think it is too. I also question how good Green Bay actually is. They destroyed Minnesota and Detroit.
Yeah, I understand. Yeah, I'm playing the plus 140 on the Packers.
Sure. I'm just going to take the Saints in the Superdome. It's not a confident play or anything like that. I'm also going to lean under.
Okay.
Not confidently, but both teams missing their star receiver. Breeze had issues throwing the ball down the field.
Yep, true.
It's not great, especially now that Lattimore is going to move down and guard Marquez Valdez-Scantling. Green Bay's offense might struggle.
Yeah, guess what? He's not going to be able to guard him either.
Lattimore?
No, Lattimore was dreadful against the Raiders.
It wasn't good, but I'm not going to say he's dreadful. He's still one of the best corners in the game.
Is he really?
I think he's a top 10 corner. I don't think that's a discussion. Are you serious?
Yeah, I'm dead serious.
I think he's a top 10 corner in the league. But anyway.
Let's find out.
You have Green Bay, who's going to be missing their number one playmaker. You have the Saints, who are going to be missing their number one playmaker as well, and Breeze can't throw the ball more than 10 yards down the field. So I'll lean under. I'm going to lean to the Saints, though. I think it's a good bounce back spot.
Well, going the other way, I'd rather have Rodgers than Drew Brees right now by a ton.
That's fair.
Give me Green Bay plus 140. All right, there we go, bud. That's an NFL show. How about that?
Yeah, we disagreed on a couple of these, so we'll see what happens there. But it is what it is.
Did you write them down?
No. Actually, no. I wrote them down somewhere else, so I do have my picks.
Okay, good. All right, there it is, everybody. And this is a very important time for all the deep dives into all these games. You know the drill. You know what I tell you every week. Make sure you check out winnersandwhiners.com. NFL writing and handicapping second to none. Is the number one site in the world for predictive sports analysis. winnersandwhiners.com. And we do appreciate you stopping by and checking out today in sports betting. Make sure you let us know what you're playing. Make sure you like. Make sure you subscribe. And, yeah, I guess that's it for the plugs. And for myself, for Scott Reichel, for all of us over here at winnersandwhiners.com, hope you guys have a great Sunday. Hope every one of your tickets cash. And we will see you next time on Today in Sports Betting. Take care, everybody.